light. Shit got way too lit and you can go in the light, yeah. Faces of Jewish people got you out here just worshiping Yahweh. They turn up making some of niggas wanna be in the light all day. They want to never the gods making profit when they may be Beyonce. Now it's Beyonce. Get thrown in the water for playing with some city, but they get ate by some runners. Got money to pay for lawyer to go to the party. They just be a honor. I save all my money, don't get the gas up to be behind the ride. You don't wanna sleep, I hit you with so many hands, just like a Rihanna. The grown up, I'm talking about I'm out of bed, texting your mama. Love the game, got so many kids, so that's what I got. Yeah, I'm a little like Lil Wayne, and you can bet I'm a goblin. In the church bells, ding dong, I'm the esoteric King Kong. Making you bitch about everything that you be speaking and gibberish. You just a fucking man, you just like to be a citizen. You just a cookie, that's one of the reasons you feel that silly shit. Walk around with eye change if you ain't never believe it get really lit. Shit got way too lit and you can go in the light, yeah. Hey guys, feel right that way before the best and right that way, yeah. You and the girl, you don't gotta lie, yeah. At the light, realize it was in the sky with satellites, yeah. Bye. Gotcha, girl. You don't need protection. We living in a hostile world. I'm just trying to get in. Just be careful not a squirrel. Listen, play with fire and get burned. Cause I'm a hot star. Shit got way too lit and you can go in the light, yeah.
As the satellite says that, you might see something up there that look like a ram or whatever. I'm gonna tell you it's Red Falcon. Yeah, I said real stuff. You might see something up there like a bull ram or whatever. I'm gonna tell you it's a beef. You might see something up there. It might be a star that look like two people. Sad it might be Polix and Castor up there. Joaquin Boaz up there. I'm gonna tell you them two deer horns. You thought you was the Lion King. You was a goddamn salmon fish. You ain't got to be crab. You ain't got to have cancer no more. You could be in a tree looking at everybody like a woodpecker. Real shit, real shit. Knock on everybody's emotional door. I said, who's knocking? Who's knocking at my door? Come and ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Oh, ring my bell. Bitch. Oh, I said real shit. Now, look, we're going to talk about some real stuff right now. We're going to talk about, like, you know, how you can spot handlers. You ain't got to see 7 degrees away and 7 loop sizzle. I be in these worlds too. This is what I'm saying. Like, I be in these worlds. I got too many people on my space. Get out my space, man. I do these things. I create the motherboard technologies. Got the whole circumstance, 700 plus goddamn citizenship and stuff. I do all that for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why people in the world do a weak shit? Why people in the world do a weak shit? You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Shit. We gotta understand. Shit. Is this a piece of shit? We all pieces of shit. You gotta understand that. Do yours look like gold though? You can't just say it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be talking and stuff like that. No, you can't make shit look like gold. It's either you shit gold or you don't. It's either one. You know what I'm saying? Wherever I touch, I got the Midas touch. Everything I shit turn to gold. I got the Midas shit. Every time I shit, turn to God. I see you. Oh, I'm all face. I see you. Oh, I see you. I see you too. I see you too. Oh, I see you too. I got the golden eye. I'm playing bonds, double O's, four O's, Ohio, Ohio, 7. You know, 7 chakra systems, 7 forms, 7 languages, native gods and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had the golden gun. No, I said before it started, coming from the roof in the bathrooms and stuff on golden on the first level and stuff. Y'all know nothing about that. Y'all know nothing about Nintendo 64 and shit like that. Y'all ain't never had long strifes and frustrations and arguments with your friends with the 4 controller sticks on goddamn Nintendo 64. Y'all ain't had them times. Y'all didn't have them James Bond. Y'all didn't have them golden times. Y'all didn't have that. A lot of y'all didn't have that. A lot of y'all got to go retroactive. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't in the presence of it. Like, you know, like, hell yeah, I can't wait till I get out of school and shit like that. Or bum rushing to all your box of cereal and stuff like that. We'll make sure I don't care how much, who lose, who win, how much we argue. We gonna make sure half of your snacks is lower percentage scale shit before we leave. Oh, man, real shit. We don't want to feather that. That's a big mission accomplished, bitch. Hey, whoever brought you here, the government took our land and shit. Your mother got a lot of good snacks on top of the refrigerator. Won't have to worry about the frosted flakes. Frosted cornflakes and shit if you allow me in the backyard. I'm saying real shit. Allow me and my family stay in the backyard and shit. Other than that, we in your house playing Nintendo 64 all day. All day and shit like that. You think you just having fun with friends and shit like that. Good old snacks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Good old white man snacks that they put up, oatmeal cream pies and shit. Oh, what they do with corn here? What they do with corn here? So go over our friend house. And that's it. This shit, we still get to accept. We still get to be assembled. Still get to be assembled. Still get to enjoy American piece of pie. And that's it. Other than that, we're going to understand how to look at handlers and stuff like that. Because, look, these are circumstances and situations that you could become one of these. This is really what it means to be the celebrity, the main star player, the handler itself. But I'm trying to teach y'all how to melt your gold, too. So, when you melt gold, creative gift, fermentation, y'all don't be know how to cobalt mine it, construct it, cultivate the esoteric land. So down here, it look like you're taking your creativity with appreciation and value, and therefore you're not cutting any corners or monetary gains or things that could be thrown in front of you as far as persuasion that allow you to give more credence to that. And then, you know, the actual potent motivation that had you in that position in the first place start going in the back seat. Then it start going for all that survival shit. Now you don't even care about going to the studio. You don't even care about going to the movie trailer. You don't even care about going to the beauty parlor. You don't even care about walking the runway no more. It's whatever, because this check ain't right and I got this bill and I got to do that you're finished. You get ready to be a voodoo doll. No, I said you get ready to be a voodoo doll and let you have any discrepancies or whatever the case may be. You get ready to be replaced. And that's going to take us right into carbon copy circumstances, floppy disk computer. We still in that age right now, even though we got Blu-ray and speed disks and stuff like that. Nah. It's another way y'all got to look at it right now. It's another way you got to look at it to make sure this ain't getting too hot. Yeah, it's another way you got to look at it right now. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you see, we need 12 minutes in, but it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see some kind of terminology or some circumstance where it seems like it's a carbon copy, it's either two things. The artist did something where their handler already got a few connects, so they probably managed the same amount of people that this artist probably got more celebrity at the moment, so they think it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. And this person like, but I got 7 other people that you keep complaining like this. I take whoever you think you are, that you signed down on a little piece of paper that I own, I give it to this person. No, I'm saying real shit. If they need a vocal coach, I give it to them. If they need an acting coach, I give it to them. You know what I'm saying? You better shut your mouth. Or you want to be like a comedian or something. Like, you know what I said? It'd be like these type of energies that a lot of people don't know what's going on. And a loop back behind the scene curtain conversations and stuff. You gotta think. So, for the most part, you know that these discussions had before you even get a Ice Cube. You know they did Ice-T the same way. Ice-T was the one really in the streets, not Ice Cube. Said they did Funny Mike the same way. England Manjan and the Bloody coming to America, 21 Savage. He was really a foreigner over here that really was in the Atlanta streets and stuff like that. Funny Mike might have been too or whatever, not discredit him though, but I guarantee he had those conversations with his handler like, hey, we could be goddamn 22 You know what I'm saying? We could be 22 savage. Again, you ain't feeling that comfortable going that far with something if you a genuine person and you want to be yourself. So if you going extremely hard for something that has another layer behind it, that other layer come from other person's opinions and ideas and what they think, and they probably in a better position than you in the cobalt mind. They know how to set a platform up for you. They know how to do good nepotism for you. They know how to network for you. They know how to set you up real good or whatever the case may be. They might not have to go with themselves, the talent. So that's when you got to look at your goal. Like, why I gotta be? Yeah, funny Mike is something after that, but why I gotta be goddamn Savage 22 or whatever the case may be? Here's where you get promised something. Hey, you're gonna be a star. And they did Kanye West the same way to psy out somebody else. They was trying to use Kanye West to psy out 50 Cent. No, damn well Kanye West ain't selling no more records than 50 Cent on when they was going back to back and shit like that. The streets wasn't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? The streets the only people buying stuff. The streets, women, and white boys. Them the only people buying records and stuff like that. We wasn't fucking with that Kanye West shit. They forced that on us. They forced Kanye West on us. They forced that. He wouldn't be bitching about goddamn Adidas and shit right now. They ain't forced that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear 50 Cent bitching about no shoes. You seen him come out with Reebok, made a deal, shut his fucking mouth and move the fuck on. And in his mind, if he gonna make a G-Unit shoe again, or if them guys that damn wife beaters and shit like that, then for the most part, that's the only thing I remember on that shit, G-Unit. Do we hear 50 Cent bitching? No. Do we hear Kanye West bitching? Yes. I think I'd rather listen to what 50 Cent than rather. You know what I'm saying? I make sense out of shit. I don't like to sit around and think and be retarded. And we can see a lot of goddamn years before and years we know it ain't going nowhere after except VH1 or bitching about, hey, bro, it's the Jews, bro. It's the Jews. Yeah, it's the Jews who couldn't stop. It's the Jews who stopped Kanye from coming out with a shoe just called Donda. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess so, or something like that. No. Sometimes you monkeys want to do what y'all want to do. So when Kanye West was speaking for himself, he said slaves is it was by choice. Scout was talking about himself. Scout was talking about himself for real. He was talking about himself for real and stuff like that. And he wasn't even talking about that old type of slavery. He was talking about these rappers and stuff in today's time that we get ready to get into right now. You know what I'm saying? So you can understand things clearly. So for the most part, here's the thing, right? You see how they got Ice Cube, and slowly but surely, you see the downgrade of Ice-T. Now, Ice-T, genuine people from actual areas have to build up something. And then, you know, the same way they did as Native Americans, especially on the East Coast, and it was like a booming thing, bringing Asians and Filipinos and African Americans, starting from Massachusetts, Manhattan, South, the Carolinas. Oh, this is one thing though, because we're just talking about rivers and islands. We're not talking, you know what I'm saying? So there was a booming at one time as intermarriaging, right? Because it was like a law. So once white people did it first, they start allowing, or sometimes by force, or whatever the case may be, based upon us not wanting to be colonized, or we still in control and fighting for the land. And then it's a lot of other people here who don't know what to do. So there was a large intermingling at that time when it comes to Native Americans, Europeans, African Americans, Asians, and Filipinos at this time, helping with the fish and stuff like that, and Arabs. Now you got to understand, Arabs was always in a more business connected relationship. Over time, it became China, the Asians. But back then, it was more of the Arabs being second in command of who's going to gather up people as fishermen. So Arabs was paid a lot to do a lot as a beat, to get a lot of gathering done from all kind of different tribes in Africa, all the way down to what we're considering what happened to the Asians mixing with Arabs being colonized, and then letting British man pay y'all and name y'all Indians. Name some East Asians Indians after they was colonized by Arab. Well, that's fucked up. No wonder y'all ain't gonna never get a Babaji again. No wonder y'all ain't about to never get somebody start claiming the stuff again. So it's like all fucked up. It's fucked up, right? But due to the little system coming over here and stuff like that, right? Here's where we get people from all backgrounds, even natives, right? And even stories of people that's not living anymore also being used to make money off of. So when you get genuine people coming, there's a starting point of controlling things before we even had the industries like business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. And it started with culture and how people thinking in order to infiltrate and still feel comfortable over whoever you're colonizing. So when you get this updated version of it right now, here's where you get a person on their own volition, builds that talent from being in that nuance and that natural condition, but then also is in a position where people who may be in control of the industry and stuff like that have a lot of books to, even if you're not that type of individual, they feel like this is the best way to keep their thing running. So just doing things off your own volition has a lot of energy of you not being compliant to everything. And they already have a system of taking a person who's genuinely creative and being able to utilize it through forms of artist development, acting coaches, singing coaches, ghostwriters, and things of that nature. So here's where you get industry plant in many different layers. You know, Drake will be like a less layer version of it that was allowed to actually reap the benefits of a lot of people who was blatantly watered down industry plants and was able to see this as in history to see what was the right way and wrong way to go about it. So now that handlers have a lot of history, they're able to get more sufficient. So here's where you get the iRobot Drake, or you get the iRobot backpack rapper, Kendrick Lamar. All of these are people who are gave not opinions, but gave recommendations from a group of people based off something that'll work, all the way to song titles, song narratives, right? So a lot of time an artist not even in the studio when they're getting paid to make a studio album to go in there and just do their genuine music of how it got them attention in the first place. A lot of times 90 to 95% of your album is going to be based on how can you touch your audience in a broad way. And you're going to get a lot of people who give advice that in today's time may not necessarily be applicable for your circumstance to be respected. So this what makes how things appear to be working, but you have a lot of people who's untalented and try to make your talent something that is not, but it seemed like it was normal. So for the most part, this is where you'll have people or pure rappers and singers still somehow accepting other rappers that got ghostwriters, or still somehow accepting other vocal or other singers that behind the scenes, they know this bitch can't sing, or they know Homie Cheese can't sing that way. And he's just there being paid for to represent a character that these rappers and actors and actresses and comedians know a little bit more than us. They know the more specifics and the behind the scenes of who probably had intellectual property rights over that person before they got kicked out of whatever industry, blackballed, or even died in a lot of cases. You see what I'm saying? Make sure this ain't too hot. So when we start to talk about a person getting lit on their own volition, you're always going to see hundreds of replicas. Now, if you a person who's not talented,
like you tell me how you feel about, I just told you like that.
So if you are a person, my bad y'all. So if you are a person who built yourself on your own volition, you'll know how to spot when something's not right. Now, if you're not intelligent enough, you're not able to pass all that and just be like, well, it's just a group of people, and whoever part of that specific institution, that's who's watching me at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a rapper, singer, actor, actress, all the way down, comedian, all the way down to right now they're doing it based on content creators. So, you know, me fighting against these things, they have to walk on thin ice doing that with me, so that I see they slick ways of trying to do it, they just can't go as far. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about trying to keep me somewhere in something that they think my goal that is not. So they have to make up problems. But at the same time, this it puts people who are foreigners here, no matter if you just 4 or 5 boats ago also, it don't matter you had grandparents here or not. You still don't know what I'm talking about, but you probably experiencing it. And you might become lit and start seeing a whole bunch of carbon copy replicas of you. So your name might be Software the Engineer, So here goes somebody about to be named engineer to software. Here goes somebody about to be named where soft near eng. Here goes somebody about to be named engineer horsepower. Here goes somebody else about, you see what I'm saying? And then you got to start questioning it. But that's how you know you getting watched. So you may not be getting watched by the specific person that's copying you, but you're being watched by the individuals that's giving them recommendations, and those the handlers and things of that nature. So all you gotta do is spot those institutions and be like, okay, oh, this is the people who's scraping all the trash off of SoundCloud. Oh, this is the person who's scraping, or the little group. Just like who started doing that and became popping with 10K records and thing, and something Grange something, and whatever the case may be. That's just some nepotism type shit, right? But you gotta find a carbon copy. So it's probably a lot of SoundCloud rappers that's probably like, man, that was my song. Now no more. It's triple X song now, or not no more. It's damn Playboy Cardi song now, or it's damn Lil Uzi Vert song now. You see what I'm saying? That's how they do it. They go get their little voodoo dolls to go ahead and do it. Shout out to Trippie Redd. He from Ohio, bitch. Fuck the dumb shit. But other than that, they get a lot of y'all little voodoo dolls and to try to take people out the game, and you'll be thinking somebody disappeared. Nah, either they did something that the handlers didn't like, and rather they handler probably had multiple people that they was managing, or they get ready to find one and they want to teach the artist, actor, actress a lesson at the moment due to the fact of you getting money, but you don't know the detail how you actually getting it. You just think you getting it based upon the optic of you being in a career, and this is what it means to be in one, having a lawyer and all that shit like that. So it be mannerisms you doing that you don't even know your handlers and they little Jewish mysticism be even looking at. That's beyond them with money, because they don't care about money. It's them surviving off your gold, your internal gold. Because truly, if anybody know how to produce these qualities themselves, it wouldn't be no such thing as no industries of people who can't. If I'm gonna make an industry, I know how to do whatever industry I am myself. So you know what I'm saying? So obviously it's a scam itself, but at the same time you have to understand that when you're around people with no talent, that's the only reason that even come from a person could get rocked to sleep or be a slave out of their talent or whatever the case. That wouldn't even exist. That's really not a thing to even consider what's evil or good or whatever. It's a made up thing for other people who are untalented to survive in some way, shape, or form. Don't let it go past that. Or motherfuckers, if you want to sell your industry or your record company, you better know how to sing first to have everybody pay attention to it. You better know how to be the face of your own billboard. Other than that, all that bribery shit is that's for the birds also. Now look. Now when it comes to because we're in a new time right now, so you can't even really carbon copy if you tried in these times, because it's not beneficial for anybody. It's not beneficial for the person getting carbon copy. It's not beneficial for the carbon copier, because you won't be able to do it again. The moment you do some shit, the moment God gonna take away from you your whole ability of you thinking that was the way of getting it in while the getting is good, and you take that shit right away from you. It's all bad. It's bad fruit, because we're in a time where we have to show and prove. This dragonfly, don't come in here though. It's always some colorful shit, you know what I'm saying, when I'm outside. Let's get ready. Come in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind too. But for the most part, now, Snoop dug it all. That's how you got Homegirl from The Wire, or Snoop, and then that's how you even get Young M.A. and stuff like that, right? And these people even be having the names in there and stuff. So, you know, Snoop did already had a conversation or whatever. Snoop is real compliant. That's why he's able to be a household name, or however the case may be. But to a certain degree, Snoop still knows what's actually going on. And if he would have had any discrepancies, slowly but surely his career would have been going down, and Doggy Snoop career would have been going up. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So you got to peep game. And they do this to a lot of individuals also. And they do it in sports, because sports is rigged. But y'all don't know how it's rigged and things. But even on the music side, right? Young Thug, right? Based upon finding Young Thug or whatever the case may be, there was something Lil Wayne wasn't agreeing with or whatever the case may be. So they did the networking. Don't ever think that you out here and you got to do these things and these people are special. No, there's always somebody who's in these positions a little better than them that get them there. You know what I'm saying? So just join your tribe, join me or whatever. But there's somebody who recommend Lil Young Thug to start being like Lil Wayne, and networked him with Birdman. And for Birdman to fully accept that, there had been already some discrepancies and things. So there's a lot of things going on that we don't know about, but just due to the industry involvement. You see what I'm saying? So you have to keep that in mind. And a lot of people might ask, yeah, I heard sports is rigged, but I don't know how in detail. It's look, being a good cosplayer is also being good at the sport. See, there's a lot of times why the handlers can't do it themselves. So the same way handlers recommend artists and movie actors and comedians to have certain talking points and optics in their creativity, the same way they do that in sports. So just as talented you can shoot a jump shot, as talented you can allow somebody during that quarter to do something to you for them to win and things of that nature, right? So you could play around, but it could be a generalized optics. Never allow the goddamn it score to go higher than this though. So y'all can play around this quarter. Second quarter, make sure this such person get this many fouls. It's like wrestling, right? Third quarter, make sure this person get a touchdown. So it's when y'all be seeing a script, it's like that. So let's say you're seeing a whole quarter. That whole quarter objective is for this team to get a touchdown a certain way. They might fail 5 or 6 times within that quarter until they get it right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're playing a role. When you think they're just playing, like let's say basketball, when you think they're just playing, they're trying to do something perfect, like a foul. So the foul is intentional, but they're acting to make it look like it's not intentional. And then they feed off y'all too. Let's say y'all have a lot of problems. Y'all like a person. They start paying this person more to do fuck up shit for y'all to keep talking about them, because it really ain't about the talent. It's about the handler not having no talent, but finding a way to make a game only they can win then. Make money off product. So it doesn't matter if it's about the talent or whatever. If this person is getting talked about, let's make sure this person got as much symbols and clothing and objects and things of that nature and purses, if it's a female or whatever, that we could fucking sell until we don't need this person no more and we start working on somebody else on the script. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. They be having regular games, but the main important games, both teams be in on it, based upon the coaches being Masons and Jesuits and shit. You see what I'm saying? At times. Not all the time, but at times. But they just get filtered through if you want to get paid. That's why let's say you're not as intelligent as me and you're a foreigner, so you ain't got the native understanding of things, but you're here on this land. This is why I'm able to explain something to you that you're currently going through, but you may not understand it because you're just looking at what's in front of you, not the energy behind it. What do I mean? I guarantee if you in the sports, you deeply into it, you one of them type of people that be like, I like high school and college football better though. I like college and high school basketball better though. And I can explain to you why though, in ways that you never seen, which is what I'm talking about. There's added intentions to it that got alternative motives on a percentage scale that throw you off. So minds and actions plan out into the thing that you're watching is not going to take the course of how you should naturally see it. So you're going to start questioning it in this lens first. If I was him, I would have did that. If I was her, I would have did that. How he not doing this? How they not doing? You see what I'm saying? And then it gets you involved, but you're not understanding what you're fighting with. You're fighting with the internal world. Then that's what I will be able to explain to you, and give you the direct point to what your spirit is disliking that your spirit can't see, because you're already in your mind, and your mind is rooted in the physical condensing that we create with our minds, the biases. So your spirit always gonna pick it up. But if you ain't around no spiritual person, you may not have a way to describe it. So it'll take you longer to get out of it. It'll take life hitting you in other areas to be like, man, fuck sports in general, or take you through life to realize Santa Claus and wrestling ain't real, to start seeing other areas you could pick out from that to see how it's playing out in areas you wasn't paying attention to before, and like the main events when it comes to like hockey, basketball, and football and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So you can start being like, oh, that's intentional. So when it be like intentional foul, they mean that literally though. In your mind, you be like, oh, the referee was bugging. And both coaches' mind and the team mind, they getting ready to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at the news like that too. Is be and everything they say is what they're doing. Because we're in a self-projection time at the moment. Can't nobody hide. We can't even hide. That's why it's important for us to be good people right now, because that's the only thing that's going to sustain itself mentally and land wise, and get reproduced and even become a new thing if everything was to crash. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to play out the relatability and synchronizing energies and stuff like that. And there's things that we've been hiding in our first body, our first layer, like our biases, our emotions, that we can't even hide in those anymore. And if we stay in it like a cocoon, it's gonna start getting hot and burn up, and your spirit gonna feel like you need to escape something. And when you escape it, it's gonna be you escaping those natures and letting it show. But if it's a lot of negative onion natures to it and stuff like that, then you gonna feel comfortable. But then you might still go in that old shift a little bit and be like, well, damn, though, everybody else going to look at me kind of weird or feel funny about what I just said or whatever. And that is let you know how deep of a hole you was in the first place. You should have cleared all that out internally, so these things didn't even have to show externally and stuff like that. But if they're used for a lot of monetary gains and stuff like that, then when time is up for that, you have nothing else but the natural thing to show. And if you're a person that's not trying to change, the only thing we see is a negative, degenerate ego, or whatever the case, which helps no one. You know what I'm saying? That none of that even helps no one. Well, we all supposed to be teaching each other and shit like that. That we learning from each other through natural nuances and frustrations and stuff, and understanding the natural motherboard and the programming. But yeah, anytime, especially if you're a content creator right now, anytime you start to see someone who has, because this is the failure on their side. Like, one thing we all supposed to be doing is developing our own creativity in some way, shape, or form, right? So when we have a situation where the main talent is to steal, or the main talent, and then for the most part that's creative, then you might be online right now and getting a whole bunch of replicas done upon you and stuff like that. But we at a time right now where if you can't actually be the thing itself, it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? So this is the time that we in, and it's also what we all need to understand when it comes into when you're doing things on your own volition, and how to take pride on it, and how to build things, and how to create that cobalt around your own gold. So you got your gold mine, creative gifts, and you got your cobalt mine. You know how to put it together and cultivate it, because someone else will come cultivate it for you if you don't. That's someone taking your esoteric currency, intellectual property, esoteric landmass, and landscaping, and claiming it for themselves, and being able to do whatever they want with it or whatever. And then you can't even survive in the world based upon your own stuff. So you become a producer of gold, but never have the cobalt construction to put it on a concession stand table, or to put it on a shelf somewhere in the esoteric world, to bend into the 1 to a third dimension, that it doesn't matter what replica externally, a person don't want the copy, a person don't want the carbon copy, a person want the originality of it, regardless if the world have to change around it that made the carbon copy comfortable. The world would change around the genuine energy for these things to be. It's almost like trying to find a rare precious metal or gold, a rare gem, or in some way, shape, or form. It's almost like that. So it end up being in demand. You know what I'm saying? And that's the space everybody's supposed to be in, all the way to the individuals that's utilizing cobalt mine energies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But when you even get like the young thugs, who else I put up there? You get a lot of radio people that they put in these positions, so that someone is getting watched by a handler, and the handler is trying to make money because they don't have no talent. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to open yourself up to act like you know something, but to still act like you dumb or something like that, then they will like punish you based upon creating some religion around a fake concept of ego. But a person will have some type of ego to have to be in that kind of energy like that. So you have to look at that first. But so the court system will be based off that too, and how your lawyer deal with you and stuff like that. And they look at giving you money from an ego perspective of, is it deserving or not, based upon if you're mentally bowing down to a circumstance you may not even know you're dealing with, especially if you come from a crippled culture and people like you're the first of trying to be somebody. So that's the only thing in your mind. So there may be a lot of things when you do start getting remixed and stuff that you see that that you wouldn't even agree with at the time. You thought about it at the time, but you did it because you know that it was a way out, and you ain't know all that other stuff was going to come with it to have you thinking differently anyway at a later moment down the line. So You know what I'm saying? It's just, I want people to understand that when you're coming from your own volition, especially in a position like me, that, you know, us natives, we don't have no foggy future. And that shit is either all or nothing on our own. And free man starting to get in that position also and stuff like that. But at the same time, don't set these things up as excitements. It has nothing to do with your talent or your creativity. And if you just express it too much, it's a whole psyop on intelligence of taking it first before even you considering that. That's how you get people like Party Next Door being in the goddamn OVO sweatshop for so long and stuff like that. It's not about you. They could put you in a position just like anybody else. Your mind got to be in a certain way that suit fit for what they got going on that goes beyond you. Yeah, your talent, one thing. Party Next Door might be one thing, but he might not be a walking billboard like Drake. You see what I'm saying? So the symbol is better on Drake for that commercial and video other than the actual talent. You get what I'm saying? It's like that. That's how they're creating things. And if you don't have a good group of individuals and figure out ways of how you create your own industry and stuff like that, this is how you're always thrown up under the bus from your own people that's not trying to develop a culture. Then someone else who don't even have no talent can use your talent and just make millions and billions of dollars year after year until you have some type of ego you don't know you have because you think all the success based upon you. Then slowly but surely they replace you with someone named, goddammit, Turner Tina. And then for the most part, shit, you start seeing you going through all kind of scandals and shit that all of a sudden you need lawyers for. It's like, it's kind of what they did to us Native Americans, right? Because all the peace treaties was gibberish. It's make-up game. Like, it was a time that they made up if a settler walk on a certain area they didn't walk on before, they own it. Like, there's like making up all kind of shit. So it's impossible to it's impossible to be spiritual with the English language due to the fact sometimes how I start. So the way they get down is make up a word, put a meaning behind it, and use our nepotism platforming news network and broadcasting systems to make it something that people have to abide by. So they just make up stuff. I'm saying, as soon as you start if the only language you know is English, you're kind of already up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? There is no such thing as a revolution and you speak English. No revolutionary spoke English. Not even the people who came over here and created their own revolution. The Europeans, they wasn't speaking English when they came over here. There is no revolution. So all y'all Hebrew Israelites and Nation of Islams, y'all lost. There's no such thing. Business, pen gang, business interpreter language is only useful of English, and you can try to interpret other people's cultures that spoke different languages based upon Europeans creating this language to interpret. You can try your best, but you purely just claiming something in spirit and you're not those people, and you're trying to understand something through English. So what you're actually doing is trying to get paid off somebody else's culture. That's what's actually going on. You're actually trying to be seen as somebody else's culture. That's what's actually going on. You're trying to be the main representation. You're trying to be the billboard or something. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, you're trying to be a billboard or something that's not yours and something that's not promised to you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't understand things in its natural context. But when it just comes into the energy itself, right? This is how you get religions, carbon copies from people's cultures. This is a long running game that's been going on for a long time from people who don't have no talent. But if you develop a talent, right, then you'll be able to understand what I'm saying, but also get sufficient when it comes into the cobalt mind and even make these individuals more talented. You know what I'm saying? Make them become more talented where you teach people what you do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should start teaching what we're good at. If whatever you're good at has negativity behind it, it's tainted. You can't teach it. Yet it's the only thing that's based off your survival. So you're in a limbo stage in this new shift. So be careful. Make sure everybody should be teaching something positive. And positive doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be positive for everybody. That's what culture for. You could put yourself where you just find your people and just speak to your people. You're not harming anybody. And if you got any qualities that is agreeable with terms and conditions with other people, that's the people you could connect with and pull from, and they can pull from you. Don't let it go further than that. You know what I'm saying? it comes unnecessary challenging. It becomes unnecessary battling. Debates actually could be more sufficient from this starting point I'm in, because it's about the use of the culture, not just us talking about a culture and then worship and idol worship that's based on bearing false witness. You see what I'm saying? So we want to argue what Josephus and them did or not or whatever, other than just making a culture or having a debate about how does this culture actually helps you right now. And you got to speak for yourself. You can't speak for other people, because if you the preacher or the teacher, you the representative. So you should have the qualities to make people want to follow you or copy you, or say, or you're just out here preaching to the choir. Kind of like a politician at times. It's that us and we energy. You're talking to a whole bunch of people that you ain't even on your side. Like, so it becomes you're talking to yourself in some way, shape, or form. And culture leads back to territory. That's all this is happening again. So just like how we had Indian country, since we're a melting pot again, it has to be based off like-minded stuff, but it has to start in that too. So it'll be like Indian country again, freedman country, and all other ethnicities that share certain qualities to the people who's running the main churches. Now, we're in a new age right now. There's no other people to look towards but content creators and people who's doing things in the environment. Here's the little fight that may have to take place. Not an actual fight, a mental fight. There's a foreign concept, even if you was born here. Got grandmothers born here, right? So you're probably from the same neighborhood as us and stuff like that. But when it comes to the police force and stuff like that, we know these are the individuals who fund things. So it doesn't matter if you're from somebody's neighborhood. The moment you're funded, you can't pull 700 people like us. You got picked from being you went to college or something like. You're not around us like that, or you are, but you just did something else. Maybe you joined the military or something like. These things don't work. Like, you're used for someone that's not really going to help you and your culture, but you're going to be used to talk to, once again, melting pot. Who are you talking to? Who did you actually connect with? See, this is the problem Kamala Harris had, because she's an East Asian Arab, so she's not black or Indian. And then for the most part, she was in California and already went to a HBCU and locked a whole bunch of people up already in government, being in government. Locked up with a faulty law that probably was exercised in a negative way, which is why I got negative feedback. Like, it's one thing when it's a narrative being created based off something that makes sense. It's another thing when it's over exaggerated to force issues that don't have anything to do with nothing. That's sometimes how we see politicians work with the military or the government or the police force to have to make up crimes, like these fake protesters or what they're doing in Washington, D.C. and stuff like that. We know there's crimes everywhere. But when it's a narrative, before we understand the narrative, we have to understand it's broadcasted. So it's meant for us to react with our opinion. And why these always have to be the things we have to react to, when the real common sense person can always look at the nuance of something, right? To be able to compare and contrast. This is not even serious enough for what our tax dollars or the use of the military, when the things y'all trying to make us think is serious. Shouldn't the tax dollars go towards that? You know what I'm saying? So it get weird at times, but that's how you could kind of separate when something serious is going on and when something from someone's alternative motive of seriousness needs to get forced. It has to have qualities that lack that percentage scale from multiple other pockets, pardon me, y'all, and have to make it as a collection to make up the ingredients of a synthetic GMO version of what serious would be. And then if you drink that version of Kool-Aid, then maybe you think what you're listening to and watching is serious. But at the same time, we can all kind of look at our tax dollars going towards something a little better. You see what I'm saying? Where we have institutions and stuff. If you want to fund something, don't get mad at individuals who's doing things on their own volition. Do everything in your power to try to stop them. They persevere some way. and then create an ego about yourself. Well, I did this to make you stronger. No, you was evil. You would have destroyed a person. They was destroyed. You would have smiled about it. You know, no, you don't get to do that. You don't never have that energy. You could be an example. So we know where real funding come from. So you can't get mad at people who actually could still do it when you're destroying them in mental and physical ways, and then criticize them when they don't accomplish it because they're not funded like you. And I don't like that type of sarcasm, because y'all did that to natives first. See what I'm saying? In a way that you needed us to even survive. These little weird games y'all playing, this is kind of weird. For an example, welfare. Welfare was created. They needed to create a game only they could win in, so y'all could need them. Well, natives, right? They wanted to control everything that we already could do ourselves. That's where that Yahshua come from, the Jesuit stuff. Now, they like using it as bribery now on y'all, as if welfare wasn't created because of the necessity of the economy and what people was going through, and you're bringing too many foreigners over here. That's what it was created for. It's not created. Welfare wasn't created just because people was happy to create something and then people start jumping on it and start to abuse it. It was created for a reason, or it would have never been a creation in the first place. So all the psyops about taking it away or putting it is for other narratives that actually have nothing to do with people who are actually on welfare and people who actually need it for assistance and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, where's all the rescue missions? And see, this is why territory is about to be important again. Because if you're amongst like-minded people, people care about their people to already have these type of foundations, already have these type of circumstances. And 2 or 3 abandoned houses before the government knock them down could be re-innovated for a group of bums. And if they part of their people based upon like-minded stuff, they're going to get raised up to be utilized. They're going to be raised up to be productive. That's the way we use slavery. We don't use slavery the way slavery is. We use slavery as we make the lowest unproductive people. We find situations they could be productive in. Get all the bums together, teach them how to lay cement, and make them put all the sidewalks together. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like not creating struggle for everybody where kids got to start losing jobs that they could be working at, like these restaurants and stuff, and grown-ass men got to have kid jobs and construction jobs and stuff, that everybody could be in a system where this stuff is just like natural. You know what I'm saying? And straight leap from grade school straight into this type of shit. You see what I'm saying? But we don't have a system of people amongst their own cultures, melting pot or not. America doesn't have a culture. And if we was to give it one, it's what the Mayflower Pilgrims is doing. And it's outdated. It's unagreeable. It's too high and unagreeable percentage scale layers for everybody. Even Europeans today over here in America. The pilgrim energy itself. You can even look on the news and stuff. They stumbling all over the place. Well, this not the Jews, it's the DRUs. Well, I'm not a part of that. I'm this. Well, I'm not the feds. I'm that. Man, that's a whole bunch of I ain't this, I ain't that, because I'm a part of it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain energies have layers in other areas that fuck things up for everybody right now. Fuck things up for everybody. You can't even walk like you a different type of person. So, because you're already wearing a mental and a physical cloth from whatever all of our ancestors was involving themselves with. And put these stains on all of us. So, for the most part, a lot of us get in a weird ego sometimes. Will be like, well, if I'm the bad guy, I'm going to be the best bad guy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the bad bitch, I'm going to be the best bad bitch then. You know what I'm saying? And it's so often that we'll see an accumulation of this. So we're never even going in a direction of building the culture again in some ways. Because there was a time where we did get it together. The little Cherokee towns and stuff like that. And the free man's duplicating and the Europeans and stuff. There was a time. You know what I'm saying? That it worked. It did work. It looked good. It just greed came into play. Greed. But there was a time that shit looked good. And we still see old reminiscences of it just on the side of the people who wasn't so involved and had so much to lose and so much at stake and so much animosity. So we can see it today. Arabs having the most stores and Asians having the most stores. And go to New York, Chinatown. You see what I'm saying? These is after reminiscences of what the foreigners and Europeans and Spanglers was doing over here, and, you know, trying to auction off land from us Native Americans, but us not seeing land in that way. So we looking at it as, oh, y'all coming back and forth. So we know y'all don't go back and forth. Y'all stay for like 3 days or a week or whatever. So while y'all over here, even if it's a month sometimes, this is what we do. So yeah, you could pay for that little area to share with us. Not when you leaving energy, and then when you come back, you bringing more people when y'all leave, and then using bribery now with these other ornaments y'all getting from these other places and stuff like that. Like, what is this a little bit? No, we don't want y'all. So that the whole 1600s started the Indian War and the French and Indian War and stuff like that, because French tried to do that with us first. So Britain tried to get in on it. Then after a while, couldn't get rid of all these damn roaches everywhere. Spain, goddamn. England, Pilgrim, damn. German, damn. African American, damn. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to y'all. I got y'all. I mean, shout out to everybody. Yeah, we all got a little bit of all of us in there. But this is what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? So the first portions of peaces and peace treaties and stuff like that, it's basically, y'all think what I be saying is new. It's really not. It's old. But it's just, we can do that way at a better time now. And it was times that shit worked. That shit worked. It started becoming a melting pot. So it started to be like-minded shit. So those group of Native Americans and the ones who already got that land right there, the freedmans that want to think like them, let them. We had Blue Coat. That's a white boy. Yeah, all the white boys, white women want to think like them. All right. Asians, Arabs. All right, that's that territory. This group of freedmen that just want to do what they all want to do if they get off their feet, as long as they doing deals with us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Us, we are shit. Y'all know how our military get down. So, hey, let's be here a little bit until we get greedy again. And then 10 year, 100 year, then 200 year, we know that they got greedy again. So we hear they just took over everything. But at the same time, it was a time that before the greediness, that territory shit worked. When it was the first version of the melting pot. That shit worked. That shit did work. You know what I'm saying? And then we had writing down systems of who was fighting the war and who deserved this, and we not doing this no more, and we're part of that shit and stuff like that, and all kind of things of that nature and shit like that. But right now, it's at a desperate need for the starting point of that. Because without culture, everybody running crazy, fighting over false peer pressures, false pride egos, that we're all getting off this new Walt Disney that got remixed online, and Gen Z and the kids don't know how to get the attention or to be seen a certain way because these pockets is unmanly and unwomanlike now. So it's like you might be a kid right now and be like, shit, I'm the best person in my life because I drill the best, or you know what I'm saying, I'm the best person in my life because I'm the best incel, or like you have no pocket. So the shit y'all get ready to create is fights with each other, animosities, relationships, good times, all the most degenerate shit in the world that don't even really got nothing to do with action-wise and harmful degeneracy. Just like some new age hippie degeneracy. New age lost degeneracy. And everybody gonna be walking Gutman's Ninja Turtle mascot dude. If that thing was to leave his gut, he won't be a robot no more. Y'all be walking versions of these things, just walking brains. Your whole body will be considered a brain. The heart and lungs all one thing, because they got all y'all just walking one thing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to be careful and stuff in this new time. But at the same time, like I said, when it comes to duplications and shit like that, now that's the whole little system. Now, you know, it's only going to be prevalent through the eyes of someone who can't produce their own gold. So they may produce synthetic gold. Synthetic gold is, I think I'm intelligent, how much I can lie and cope with not having talent myself. And doing something that I can't teach freely because it'll give somebody else the idea of some negative shit that I know I'm doing in the heart. And I know I can do. So, you know what I'm saying? So, with those, you know you're dealing with an individual like that if you're dealing with a handler starting to give people that's from certain backgrounds, certain names, certain talking points, certain optics, certain outlooks, and then start putting them on certain platforms that the average individual without networking or nepotism will be able to go through. There's stuff like that. And if we're seeing this as a rapper, singer, or actor, or actress, we know what rapper is getting punished at the moment based upon their ego. So you could go down the train of thought and line of reasoning, the things that possibly could be going on of things that we will never know, being spectators. And if you're a content creator, right, this puts you in a position of being aware of how, even real people and even AI can be doing the same thing to you at this very moment. And maybe one of the reasons why you're shadow banned or demonetized. It had nothing to do with what you're actually talking about, such as myself. I'll talk about astrology, right? You could just have so much gold that, a person would try to take it for themselves, and it's not gold once they get it. It's just cobalt mine. And they're always going to have to go to a situation where they find it again. So they're in a destructive path on themselves, trying to destroy others in some way, shape, or form. But there is no good nature behind that. It's just a quality of getting it in while the getting is good. And we had a shift at this moment where you have to actually be these things. So if these are things that you do, you have to put yourself in a position that you teach these things. Or I'm going to teach it better than you. And here's going to be the difference. I'm not going to have to hit somebody upside the head with a sword, like a contract, and an ink pen, and bribe them with money. My genuine natures and things of that nature will allow a person to understand now is in reverse. You're carbon first, and then whatever we're copying, we got a like-minded interest. You know what I'm saying? So it's not forcing anything. It's all of us building each other. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, if you cannot be who you are, you cannot fight fire with fire, because you're not in a position of being able to teach pure, next to cleanliness, of what you do. So when you got to add things, dirt, toxicity, and sometimes can't even be the face of what you do, yet you somewhere eating it like it's very good, in the spiritual world, you probably look like Homer Simpson in the waistline also. You're imploding. But other than that, I'm a Native American goddamn psychologist and philosopher, the greatest that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting y'all true ego, so we can all hover and fly together as all phoenixes with our emotional intelligence added, and our vulnerabilities can fly like an ego. Fly like an ego. Don't be in front of no more cameras, dude. Make sure it's no good lighting for his music videos. Shout out to Seal. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, when we get into these qualities and stuff, right? This makes everybody become right. Whether they choose to still be negative in the ego, that's not going to save them either, even if it still seems comfortable. You have to teach what you know. And if you know nothing, act like it. And if you only know how to steal, find something good. And if you can't find nothing at all, that's your spirit letting you know you ain't doing right in today's time. Build yourself up. You're not in a position to teach anybody anything. So we can't even be in equality at this moment where we even using, I'm a PhD. We got too much history of Neil deGrasse not even knowing anything. So whatever Neil deGrasse strove for people to follow, to feel like this what it means to be an astronomer, he can't no longer call himself that. I could call myself an astrologer and an astronomer or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because what argument would be other than I didn't get no government check, I didn't go to their college, and I didn't interpret things the way they interpret it, and none of these things matter anything in today's time. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get your spiritual ass kicked the moment you even try to add those damn arguments or whatever the case may be. Because all you're going to do is be able to go in a book that probably got debunked by a book before that. Then go into a book before that, and then have to wait till these very same handlers make another book and say, hey guys, we just discovered a mummy. Hey guys, we just discovered a statue. And then that's going to get debunked in the book a year after that. So at some point, you just in debunking yourself and thinking, wow, in your brain, looking crazy and stuff like that. Get back to yourself. Get back to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I love all y'all from the goddamn bottom of my heart. Flight boss, but for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Terry's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And that has nuances to it, right? Because you lead as an example. That love don't go into the hands of individuals who don't love me. But the love, energy, and the holy perspective, job done. Because you even teach a person who's unloving, unkind, how to love themselves. So you still gave them love, even if they can't take that gold from you. And I love all y'all. You better believe that.